What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today is the second part of my all-elite team. This time the defensive side. And to be honest, this wasn't hard to put together. It was just complicated due to some things. The first thing I'll say is one, the safety class this season is really kind of disappointing. A lot of them didn't stand out, and the ones that did stand out, they had certain things about themselves that kind of made them not be the all-around type of player. But I took the best two, because again, it's about the elite guys that are in the draft. And understand, these two guys, they got a specialty to them that is very unique to their skill set. But the guys I put around them would help them. If this was to be a team, it would help them in their skills because they have particular skills that would be great, but the people I put around them would make them a lot better. So this, like I said, the safety class, I think that's probably the safety class and the offensive line class, especially at center, are probably some of the more disappointing groups in this year. The linebackers aren't bad this year, but like I said, the safety group is probably the most disappointing this year. I'm not overwhelmed by a lot of the guys, but the guys that I did pick were specific. So I'm going to start from the back of the defense because I'm going to spend some time on the edge players when I get down to them. So we're going to start off. So my first safety that I have there, because both of the safeties can play strong and free, but I think that this one, for me, he's probably more the strong safety than he is the free safety, and that guy is Billy Bowman Jr. from out of Oklahoma. He closes. He has very good closing speed. He does a fantastic job with tackling. There are times that he goes so fast that he kind of like flies past the plays and everything. But he's still a fantastic player, and I mean his skill set is very, very good. He does remind me of Tyrann Mathieu when he was in LSU. He doesn't have the coverage skills that Mathieu had, but that Tyrann, the Honey Badger had, but it was just one of those things where he's just as skilled as that. All he needs is to find a way to learn how to be better in coverage and not be taken out of the play. But he plays very well, very fantastic. You can move him up to the line and play very close to the line. You would feel comfortable with him defending a tight end. Now, a tight end might overjump him because he's not the biggest guy, but he is a fantastic player. So for me, Billy Bowman Jr. Out of Oklahoma is my strong safety. My free safety is Jalen Reed out of Penn State. I like the way that he plays. He does a pretty good job when it comes to defending guys that are either coming across the middle or trying to go deep. And that's what she said. Well, trying to get further down the field. He does a pretty good job in coverage when it comes to that. And he's also a very solid tackler. So he has more of the all-around game that you want. Like I said, there are things that you really want to desire from Jalen Reed. It's sad that Kevin Winston didn't play as well. I think he was going through an injury this year. But again, it was one of those things where Jalen Reed kind of stood out on the film. So for that, I would rather go with Jalen Reed than Kevin Winston. But these are my all elites for what's going on right now. So now I'm going to go to my corners. The first corner, I'm going to start off with my slot guy. My slot guy is a guy who normally plays outside, but I've seen him travel. I've seen him travel with certain receivers, but he doesn't travel all the time. And that guy is Jahdae Barron, the cornerback out of Texas. You do see that there's times where he can, if they really wanted him to, he could play the slot and probably play the slot very well. But there's some things to be desired from his game too. He's not always in the play, but I also see that there were a lot of times teams avoided throwing his way. But there were times when they did throw his way, and I think he kind of, misunderstood what his assignment was and ended up getting beat for a play. So, but that you didn't see that often. So, but that was a good thing that when it came down to it, he does an excellent job defending guys coming across the middle. So that's why I would put him in the slot. My next guy, my cornerback 2 is Will Johnson out of Michigan. I do like his game from last year. This year, starting out the season, we saw teams avoid throwing to his side. But when he went, but last year or the year before, he sat up there and he was a fantastic cornerback. And he's one of these guys that I think with him recovering from the injury, he might start off slow, but he'll become elite very quickly and get up to speed very fast. So for that, I like Will Johnson. My next guy is somebody that I'm pretty sure all of you are pretty much aware who it is. And that guy is Travis Hunter. The thing about Travis Hunter is that I think that what most people don't understand, that whoever drafts him, they don't understand that they're getting an elite starter and an elite backup in 2 different roles. So when it comes to Travis Hunter, it's like, you getting an automatic elite backup. So like if you draft him to be a wide receiver, you're now going to get you an elite backup cornerback. If you draft him as a cornerback, you're now going to get yourself an elite wide receiver, a backup wide receiver. So with that, I don't think people understand how special this guy really is. So when it comes to Travis Hunter, when you watch him play, he shuts people down. Ask Teteroa McMillan. Teteroa McMillan didn't do nothing in that Colorado game. And, Travis Hunter just basically blanketed him. And I think that the couple passes that Teteroa made was against the other corner. But Travis Hunter is just a dog when it comes to it. And, I get that he may not seem like a shutdown cornerback right now, but what you can see is that this is a guy who, it's almost like things come to him so quickly that it's not going to be hard for him to adapt and become special. So with that, Travis Hunter is my elite number 1 cornerback when it comes to my all elites team. Next are the linebackers. Now, I'm pretty sure that some of this is going to probably blow some people's minds, but just to let y'all know, I should have did some house cleaning right before this. I went with the 4-2-5. So, of course, after y'all heard my defensive backs, y'all see why I went with that. But most times, a lot of the defenses that are played in the NFL now are 4-2-5 schemes. And for this particular one, I'm actually going with Washington's 4-2-5 because of the fact that they like aggressive corner play, and their safeties are just needed to make plays so that things don't get too far behind the defense. And on top of that, when they need them to come up in the running game, they're able to tackle very swiftly in the running game. So I went with Washington's 4-2-5 scheme, just to clear up the housekeeping there. So at linebacker were two guys that one I think that people probably would agree with. The other one, people may not have really paid attention to him, but I did, and I just love his film. He kept showing up on film for me as much as Nick Bolton did when Nick Bolton was playing at Missouri. So for me, my first linebacker that I'm going to talk about is Cody Simon, the linebacker out of Ohio State. Green dot guy, great at leadership, comes up in tackles, does well in pass coverage. This guy does it all. Is sideline to sideline, and is one of those guys that I don't know what the linebacker thing is really going on, but I do know because I've seen some top 10 stuff, top 10 guys, but I haven't seen anything beyond what I'm currently working on. So with that, to me, Cody Simon, I haven't seen him in any of the top 10. So this guy is a very elite linebacker, and when he gets into the NFL, he's going to be super special because, like I said, he's a green dot guy. He comes in and he comes up and tackles. Not only that, he's a very sure tackler. Like, he does not play when he comes up and tackle. And it's really impressive when you watch him play. All you do is see number 0 do nothing but make plays. That's another thing. Almost every linebacker that wore the number 0 the past college football season did a fantastic job and played very well. So just something that I noted with that. But like I said, Cody Simon, all you did was see number 0 all across the field, make plays, stop plays, call out defense, call out offenses, call out the defense and what it was supposed to be, move players around. He even has some pass rush ability himself, but it's more blitz ability than pass rushing ability. And like I said, I'm just absolutely floored by a guy like this. Cody Simon is going to make some team extremely happy, especially if they find a way to get him. I don't know. I haven't seen any mock drafts. So, again, if this guy is listed in the 2nd or 3rd round, somebody's going to get a super special player. And that's Cody Simon out of Ohio State. Next is a guy that I think is everybody's. If he's not everybody's number 1 linebacker, he should be. And that's Jalen Walker, the linebacker out of Georgia. I mean, he's just a really, really fantastic player. To me, he looks more like Micah Parsons because he really does do a good job with not only being sideline to sideline, he does well in coverage. He's also a possible green dot guy too, because it does seem like on the film he's calling out defensive plays, and he does a fantastic job in the pass rush as well. So it's one of those things where I'm absolutely impressed with a guy like Jalen Walker. And to me, it's really, really impressive how he plays and the level of intensity he plays with. So I'm absolutely impressed. And so again, like I said, my 2 linebackers are Cody Simon and Jalen Walker. I can't say enough about these guys. Now I'm down to my edge players. I'm actually going to do my defensive tackles first. That's what she said. I'm actually going to tell you who my defensive tackles are first. The first guy I think is somebody that I think that a lot of teams probably really like. I like him more because he does more and he flashes more and he shows more, which means he'll be able to adapt to any defense. And that guy's Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. I just like his game, man. I mean, he's a really, really good player when it comes to holding his own at the base when the running plays and stuff like that are coming up the middle. But he also has a very good step He has a very good skill when it comes to rushing the passer. And every time you watch him play, you see his impact in the game over and over and over again. There's never a moment where you miss who he is, you miss him making a play, or you miss his impact in the game. There were some games that they lost, but it wasn't due to him. Walter Nolan is a fantastic defensive tackle, and I know that some people like Mason Graham and I think Mason Graham, and I think most people probably like his running mate Kenneth Grant, but me personally, I'm not really impressed with them. My concern is that they may be scheme specific, which I'll talk about in another video. But to me, Walter Nolan, he's probably the best defensive tackle in this draft. He's pass rush ability, the ability to stop the run. I can't say nothing more about this guy. The next guy at defensive tackle that I absolutely love is Deon Walker, the big monster of a defensive tackle out of Kentucky. I talked about him before all the draft craziness. Deon Walker, 6'6", 300 and something pounds, high 300 pounds, and it's just his first step is insane. He gets up the field and in the backfield very quickly off of his first step. And the one thing you recognize very early on watching Kentucky games is that when it comes to him, he's probably double teamed and triple teamed probably more than any defensive tackle in college football. And you saw it over and over and over again, where he would come up, get that first burst, be near the backfield. Next thing you know, another lineman is trying to come and block him. I've seen him blocked by 3 linemen at one point. So, Deon Walker to me is a fantastic player. And like I said, you put him beside a Walter Nolan, you basically created the best pass rush, run stopping defensive tackle core that you could ever imagine. We have it, other than Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, with Jordan Davis not having much of the pass rush ability, but both of these guys got pass rush ability, and they both look good against the run. Deon Walker also can play all along the line. There were games where you saw him play defensive end, which you normally don't see a lot from with defensive tackles, especially ones his size. So the fact that he's able to play both D tackle positions, play edge positions, and actually rush the passer at the edge position and do it pretty well, can't say enough good things about Deon Walker. This is where some controversy might come into play, because again, I've seen some top 10 lists, and both of these guys never end up on this list. And the 2 guys that they beat out were 2 guys that I was impressed with, but I just felt that these 2 guys did a little more on the film that was impressive to me, and against bigger top level talent that impressed me even more. So the first guy I'm gonna talk about is Kyle Kennard. It was him or Nick Scorton. Nick Scorton is absolutely fantastic. I cannot say enough about that guy. I know that a lot of people have put his teammate Shamar Stewart in the top 10, but I'm confused on that. And I'll say this, I think that this football season, they really got their lying going on, because there's no way you're telling me that you watch Texas A&M film and think that Shamar Stewart should be a top 10 pick. Like, that's problematic to me. And there are a couple guys that I just think is problematic, but Kyle Kennard beat out Nick Scorton. Only reason why is because Nick Scorton off the edge is faster than Kyle Kennard is faster off the edge than Nick Scotton. That's the only reason why I went Kyle Kennard and not Nick Scotton. But understand, it was a very thin margin because I really did like Nick Scotton's film. Not only that, the level of intensity he plays with, you can't find a lot of guys who could play like that. Kyle Kennard has that intensity too, but man, when he bends the corner, he makes a play. And he was giving so many people fits. Kyle Kennard out of South Carolina. I mean, all you did was see him give people fits over and over and over again. And he actually played against some very top level players, offensive linemen. And again, did very well against these guys. So for me, again, my guy is Kyle Kennard because, again, I mean, all you did was see Kyle Kennard make plays. And when he bent that corner, it was over. It didn't matter. It could be a running back, it could be a quarterback, it could be a tight end. Anybody that was coming out that backfield, Kyle Kennard had a bead on him, and he was taking them down. He was taking them out. I mean, I was absolutely impressed with Kyle Kennard, and I'm gonna be honest, I can't say enough about him. But like I said, Kyle Kennard did beat out Nick Scotton by a very thin margin, and trust me, it was difficult. The next guy I'm going to talk about, I haven't heard anybody say his name at all. People could be talking about him, but I haven't heard his name at all. And it's shocking that no one's talking about him. But the guy he beat out, and again, this is another one where the margin was a little bit wider, but not by much. The guy he beat out was Jordan Burch out of Oregon. I like Jordan Burch's game. I mean, you're talking about a guy who seals the edge very well, who comes up and make plays, and has the ability to rush the passer. There were games where you saw Jordan Burch, and I think he missed the second Ohio State game, and you saw his impact immediately. Like, the guys on his team, like Harmon, like, you saw the difference when Jordan Burch was on the field versus Jordan Burch not on the field. And I can't remember, I think it was the second Ohio State game where he got injured. And he didn't play that game. So it was just one of those things where you saw his impact immediately gone from the game. And like I said, I'm impressed with Jordan Burch. I mean, I like him a lot. And I like the fact that he's a guy that you can actually leave on the field and he'll be able to do his job throughout the whole game. So I was absolutely impressed with Jordan Burch. But I was more impressed with this guy. And he's been at Texas for a minute, but he's somebody that as I'm looking at Matthew Golden's film and trying to look at Alfred Collins' film and looking at the other guy who I'm going to talk about in another video. But this guy, he just kept showing up. And the thing about it is that it was such an oddity because he wears such an odd number for a defensive guy. And that guy is Baron Sorrell out of Texas. Or I've heard Sorrell and I've heard Sorrell. So, it depends on how he says his name or how he accepts his name being said. But Baron Sorrell, to me, this guy is probably the best pass rusher in this draft. When you talk about a complete pass rusher, a guy who seals the edge, doesn't let many plays go behind him, teams pay close attention to who he is, a guy that once the running game is eliminated can get in on the quarterback quickly and can make very stifling plays. There were a lot of games where I saw Baron Sorrell, teams basically ran away from his side because they didn't want to sit up there and go against him. In fact, there was the Arkansas game where for them to get their first touchdown, they kept running away from Baron Sorrell's side. Then they got to the goal line and they ran the Barron Sorrell side. He blows up both blockers. He was blocked by two different guys. Then spinned off and almost still made the tackle. If they were at the 3-yard line or at the 5-yard line, he would have made a play. Barron Sorrell, there's no way that people are looking at film, and especially looking at Texas, and this guy doesn't stand out. Like, I mean, he's in on every single play. Like, every time you turn around, there's times where you see him come from the other side of the field and will run a quarterback down or run a running back down. And, I mean, his impact is so major. Like, I mean, every time I saw him, it was just like, wow. I will say this. He is not a linebacker, and I think that might be why people have missed him, because I've seen some stuff where they have him listed as a linebacker. And no, if you watch the film, he's clearly a defensive end. He's clearly an edge, because Texas runs, there are times where they run a three down lineman set, but most of the time they were running a 4-man set. And Barron Sorrell was the guy on the end. He is a impact player, and I'm going to tell y'all, I'm impressed. I've seen pretty much all the pass rushers in this draft, and to me, Barron Sorrell is the best. This is why I think that the Lions season is in full effect, because his name never came up in anything. I don't hear anybody talking about him. I don't know anybody that's talking about him. It's just shocking to me. But those are my elites. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I know this may cause a little controversy, but I don't care. Like I said, these are my top guys that, when looking at all their film, looking at all the games, again, I evaluate differently because I look at losses and close games. I don't like looking at highlights, and I don't like looking at blowouts. So for me, I evaluate strictly on how they play in a game. And like I said, y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all got to let me know what y'all think. If y'all want to know my evaluation of some other players, let me know. I will be coming back with my scheme fit guys, my potentials, and my sleepers. Y'all tell me what y'all think. In fact, tell me what y'all think of my elites. What do y'all think about my offensive team and the defensive team? Y'all let me know. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, and it's been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.